Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Valen, and this is Magical... Bleh. Welcome to the Mischief. I'm Valen, and this is Magical Mischief Tour. I've got some big plans today. We're going on a really big adventure. I know we did a little adventure last time with going under the sea and everything. I never made that sea moth, but today I think we're going to be taking to the skies. Something I've been working on for some time. Is it a build? No. I mean, this is a little build. I kind of made my little hammock area by the campfire a little bit more protected, just so it doesn't get quite so moldy. But at least it'll be somewhat sheltered from the rain. And I've been using what little reserves I have for iron to make more mob cages. As you can see, I've made it into kind of a bit of the build here, so it's pretty neat. Sometimes you may need something like I've got cod, or I've got a salmon in here. You might need to like waterlog it, and I just put like a glass pane in front just so it would not flow out, because otherwise it'll just pour outside of it. But otherwise, I did have squid in here for a little bit, so I got like a half stack of squid, and then of ink sacks from squid, and then I got rid of it. But more or less, I'm just looking to get some fish, so that I can get more of the sushi. Because if you notice in the bottom left, I've got 61 monies now. I do still have this going on with the etheric shards being made from the little baby that's in here somewhere. Did I break that one and replace it? I don't remember. Oh shoot, I don't think that I replaced it. I'm going to have to go find another baby. But I also got rabbits. I'm hoping, there we go. I got a rabbit's foot. It took a little bit of time. And I also found a beetle. Now, the good thing about beetles is that they give you slime balls. And if you look up the recipe for slime balls, yes, you can make it with create. But otherwise, you can get from some caged mobs. Now, a slime is only usable with a diamond or better DNA sampler. But otherwise, you can find a frog, which is most likely going to be found in swamps. But I was looking in swamps and not finding any because there's just all those mushroom sporling dudes everywhere. So I went over to one of my favorite biomes that's added by Mystical World, and it adds in the sprout forest, or as I like to call it, the sprout forest. It's very vibrant, very bright, and it's got lots of really cutesy animals in it, and I was able to get that. And if you're curious where that is, I found it down here. You can see it's actually much brighter than the other biomes. You might even find like some little mushroom houses. It's a great starter biome for anybody that wants to check it out. You might also find some overworld drakes and stuff like that. Now, this being the holiday season, there are some things that have changed. If you notice, we've got very festive looking overworld drakes, and a bunch of the other dragons may have also changed what they look like for the next few episodes. If you see any, or if you're playing the pack, that's just part of it. Some of them look a little bit reindeer-like the Leviathans actually look like giant Christmas trees. But it's just weird, but also acceptable in my mind. So I made a little something here that I thought would be appropriate, because I do like the red on them. And this is a female, that's a male. And how can you tell just by looking at them? Well, that's here. A dragon staff. I found a red geodes in the nether, and I got blaze rods, of course, so I made one. Then you just take this, and it says, slap a dragon, but don't left click. You want to right click, because then you're just like accessing the dragon. You can check out the different information. You can have it follow you. You can have it target whatever you want. You can access its inventory, or you can set a home position. Its inventory consists of a saddle. Now in this case, you can see which one I'm actually commanding right now because it's glowing. But I'm going to make a little bit something else. Not the armor. It is good stuff, don't get me wrong. I want to make this red geode dragon armor because I like the red color. I could probably make other dragon armors, probably a bit cheaper, but I did mine up a whole bunch of this specifically just for this. So there we go. I want actually 2 of these. Can I? Yes. There we go. 1 for each of them. So we've got a matching set. Do they stack? No, they don't stack. That's fine, though. So now when I right-click on here, I can access the inventory. I can put this on. Oh, and you look glorious. Look at you. Oh, very beautiful. Lovely. And let's not forget about this lovely one here. There we go. You're gorgeous. That you're very. Oh, and I just pushed you totally out of your enclosure. Or your shady spot. I'm sorry. just kind of nudge you back in place. And you've got your little, like, elf helpers. At least that's what I'm calling them in this case. So they got cookies instead of coins. They're cookie dragons. Oh my gosh. They're ridiculously cute. Are they wearing what looks like a little stocking? Are you stocking dragons? Oh my gosh. You are wearing stockings. Oh, you are ridiculously cute. Alright, so anyway, let's get back into some other stuff besides just dressing up our dragons. And just because I felt like it was appropriate, I have a little name tag here that, whoop, there we go. We now have a little Ash helper. Ash, if you're watching, there you go. There's a little namesake for you. Anyway, let's continue on. One of these days I'm going to tame this unicorn, ride it around, maybe even give it a proper little ranch spot, but not this day. No, this day I'm going to continue on with a little bit more recapping before I explain why I have a marker way over that way. But and it also deals with why you probably see I'm wearing some kind of straw hat along with my Nemean lion hide. Though those are important things. This has temporarily been removed from my curios slot here. Instead, I'm going to tell you a little something that I feel is important. Now that I have actually leveled up to, what is it, tier 3 now? Yes, tier 3. First thing I did after the end of the episode was I made one of these. It looks like the spell book, but it's not. It's this, a Grimoire, which if you are unfamiliar with it, let's grab our little Chimerite Mana Weaver wand, hit Control and right click, and you'll see it opens up all the different cantrips that we can do. And of course we can light things on fire. We can clear out an area of like some grass and stuff. We can dispel and remove magical effects like poison. We can also clear out water in a, like, what is it, a 3x3 area, I think? No, actually it's much bigger than that. But we can now also summon a Grimoire. And we have a freeform spell that we can add in here if we want, with a couple of different shapes that you can customize as well. You can just click left or right to change it to different patterns. Actually, whatever it is, I'm going to switch it off circle because I hate making circles with the wand. But summoning a Grimoire is actually really, really important. Can I make this simpler? Yeah, I like that. // All right, so let's say you die, your stuff's on your corpse. Oh no. Well, you could probably make a Chimerite Mana Weaver's wand, or just any Mana Weaver's wand back at home, and then just click, and pow. You've got yourself a new Grimoire, and it's got all of your spells still in there. Now, it only has 8 slots, but it's repeatable. I mean, you just control left click, and you open up. You can even take these out. You've got duplicates of the spell now. I mean, look at this. I pick it up. I now have 2 of those spell books. It's fantastic. Actually, I'm going to throw away that one. We get rid of that. There we go. I now am back to 1, and it started raining. Let me go do a snooze and clear this up. So as I was saying, now that it's a nice, bright, sunny day, it's really, really fantastic. And so now what I do is I keep my old spell book. If you notice, it's actually gray with the purple stripe. I keep this with my extras because it has a lot more storage in it than the Grimoire does. You can put all of them over here if you want. But like my fling spell, my fart spell, my shear spell, I don't use those very often, if at all. So I'm just going to keep those as a backup in here. And I'm no longer wearing my backpack. You'll notice there is a backpack on my back. I can actually hit B and open it, but it's empty. I have 2 backpacks. The reason for that is because when you die in like water or in the void or something like that, you have potential to lose that backpack. It could pop up into the water and then float to the surface and despawn if you take too long to get back. If you're out in the void, it's pretty much gone. So I'm just keeping these in on my hotbar for now. I'm thinking I'm going to be getting into occultism soon. But before that, let's go over a little bit of things that I have changed. Namely, you'll notice that I have break spell and a break area spell. Ooh, fancy. What I did is I basically just took the break spell and I added in an area effect and such. But also, I took my frost damage spell and changed it as well. So when I control right click this to open up the details, you can see that I have increased it so it does more damage and it's more speed. So it does 10 damage and it's a speed of 3 now, which you can always modify and change like so. Now, in the more recent versions of Mana and Artifice, this looks completely different, and it's a lot more legible and understandable than what I'm showing you now. But just know that that is a thing. Now, the break area spell, this is fantastic. It has a radius, and I increased its range, so I can actually cast this further than 3 blocks, because so many times I wanted to cast it up to 5 blocks. It is a little bit more expensive to cast. It's 11 mana. That's not a lot, but it breaks a huge area. Oh my gosh, does it break a huge area? It's great. But I also wanted to keep a regular touch break spell that doesn't break a huge area, just so that I would have something that I could break single blocks with without having to use a pick. But I do have my Pick-a-Rang, and I've put my regular pick away for now, because the Pick-a-Rang is just fabulous. It's a ranged pick. I mean, come on, people. I do have some other spells that I can show you as well. But for now, let me actually see if I can get down the stairs. Oh gosh, trying to get this to aim right is a little bit challenging. Oh, we've got stuff on the ceiling there. No, I don't want to mess up the ceiling here. It's really pretty. And there's a ton of mobs over there. I don't know. Go away, Medusa. All right, this works. I like this area. So if I take this projectile and let's switch it to break area instead. And then I click on stuff. Oh, by the way, there's also a tortoise down here. You can use those to gain lots of stuff just by feeding them cave roots, and then mining them with a pick. Once stuff grows on them, you can get lots of resources. But let's just, oops, look at this, and the amount of mana that this is using is very minimal. I'm using it such a little amount that it's recharging before it even goes away. I have created myself into a massive quarry if I so desire. The only thing I'd worry about is like lava or mobs, I guess. Maybe some cave-ins as well. But I mean, seriously, I just made this giant pit just by casting this area spell. And I can also cast it on the wall here. And I believe it's either here or here. It will actually cast at that level and up. Yeah, there we go. So just cast at your head height, and you'll just continue on. Oh my gosh, making a big mess. It's just great. There we go, and also my frost spell being a little bit faster and a little bit more effective, doing 5 hearts of damage every casting, has been really nice. Yeah, it's a quick killer now for a good ranged attack, as well as my melee stuff. I mean, I'm doing some serious damage. But that aside, let's say that my inventory is full. Well, I now have a rift spell that I got. Opening this, I can just dump all this stuff in here. You notice I already had the iron ingots and stuff. Put it all in there, and there we go. If I want it back again, I just cast it again. No big deal. And I've been using these spells enough, mostly my frost damage spell, that I'm up to level 45 now. So this has been a lot of fun. I really like new spells like this, and messing around with some of them. They weren't all as useful as I wanted them to be. Get out of here, cow. But I mean, seriously, they were really good nonetheless. I mean, if you look at it, we've got things like wall, we've got emanation, we've got sigils, so you can lay traps on the ground. We still have all the bound weapons and shield. You can summon creatures, which is kind of interesting. I'm not too big on it. Smite is really cool, but you need to have open sky for it to really work, or enough of a big open space. And then chain is kind of fickle. That will like lash the effects across linked similar items. You can use it, but it gets a bit more expensive. It's better for combat in my experience than using it for like modifying blocks or things of that nature. But then there's so much stuff like swift swim, blinding your enemies, night vision. I mean, it grow. You can grow crops with magic now. Arcane damage instead of frost damage. There's a lot to go on. And of course, as I said before, we've got range and radius that I was able to use to increase the spell stuff that we've got there. But it's cool to have new toys to play with. Oh, and if you're curious, I also made one of these, a dummy. This is a target dummy. If you want to find it, you just look up target and it's there, or you can look up the mod, which if you're not familiar with why that's called that, it's based on the Crash Test Dummies music group. Yeah, get it? Okay. Anyway, you make one of these things. They're really cheap with some hay and an armor stand. Put it down, and it should simulate or emulate most attack damages that you have. Right now, you notice I'm just attacking with my bare hands, and I'm doing 4.25 damage. 5.3 when I crit. It's because of all the buffs that I have from my attributes, which, if you notice, my strength is at 13. I upped my intelligence a bit, my dex, and so on. So I'm doing pretty good, and that's added on top of it. Now, if I use my greatsword, I'm doing 20.65 with some burning damage, and of course, I've got my axe, which is also doing pretty good. It's single target damage, so it's a different damage. Of course, I had crit with the greatsword, but you get the idea. Yeah, I mean, even my Picarang is doing like 5.25. But I can also use my magic damage. You can see it does 10 frost damage, so it's kind of blue and cold. And of course, if I eat my monster Tartar and I'm under effective strength 2, I'm going to do even more damage that is ridiculous. 24 damage. I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. Of course, if I use my spell, this spell, it's not going to be as much because, well, you know, it's not melee. But anyway, let's get into some other stuff and why I'm dressed the way I am and have this waypoint over here. We're going to be going on a big adventure. First, let me introduce you to a villager that has been helping me out. So this was the nearest populated village that I had. If you look on the map, it's pretty much southwest of Dwarfhome, and we are currently heading this way. I did kind of wall up people to keep most of them safe, not all of them. Obviously, there's still some that are just wandering around. I kept the ones safe that I wanted safe. Specifically this guy here. Hello, how you doing, cartographer man? That's a nice hat you have there. So I put blocks in front here, and then I just press R to go into flight mode and sneak in. And then I can go through one block spaces. And I talked to this guy, and I did a lot of trading with him. His trading is expensive. Let me tell you, very expensive. And I am going to need to go and get the materials for this. But I just wanted to show you, it's 58 emeralds and a compass for a levitation stone. And it leads you to the castle in the sky, which it took me forever to get this guy to a master status, but it was cool. I mean, I got a lot of maps for it, and I was able to explore those and get some loot. All right, so remember this trade, how it's 58 emeralds and a compass? Well, what happens if I take this hat off and then try trading 63 in a compass? What? And he's already been reducing prices and everything because, well, I'm just a nice guy in general. But, I mean, what is it? It's a villager hat. This is actually an artifact item. And I actually got it in a trade. Funny enough, at least I think I did. I might have picked it up from a trader. If not, then I definitely got it from a mimic. But it decreases the trading price of villagers. And yeah, that's actually a really nice thing. It's not a huge deal, but I'll still take it. We're going to go with this. There we go. And now we can get the levitation stone. I get my 5 emeralds back. And I can put my old relic back on my head that gives me a lot of fire resistance, strength, and armor, which means I do even more damage now than I did before. All right, so I bought a levitation stone. What does a levitation stone do? This will show you the way. It's a very long journey. Be really ready. It's going to be like 10,000 blocks before you get there. So I might actually switch out and put on my Swift shoes just to make things go a little faster. There we go. Gotta go fast, and I get a blessing from Hades at the same time. Haste 3. It'd be nice if you just gave me a speed bonus, Hades. Anyway, you hold this thing, and it will show you a direction. Oh, look at that. We've got beams going off. So if I aim in this direction and do this, it will show me where to go. And it also serves a secondary purpose if you don't have the wings mod or wings on. You can do this without being able to fly. You just need a levitation stone. So for now, I'm just going to fly off in this direction, and I'll probably see you in about 10,000 blocks or so. That looks interesting. Oh. along the way, I think we may have found something. I think that's a conjurer's place. We're going to have to remember that and come back for that in a future episode. Now you might notice something a bit strange here. That's the fact that I'm just running and I'm flying. It's because the levitation stone kind of helps you fly a bit. So if you've got wings and you notice that you're constantly going up and up and up, it's probably the case that this is helping boost you as well as the wings. So be aware that this levitation stone is called that for a reason. Okay, so I think I've started finding it, but to give you an idea, we've got something coming up ahead. This is the distance we have had to go. There's home. It's quite a distance. And you can make this, it's definitely a multiple day journey. But I think in this case, you know you're getting close when the direction of your particles starts to change. Before it was just going this way, and now it's kind of aiming up in the air. If you look at those particles, as we get a little bit closer, some shadows start coming in to focus. And as Hades blesses me yet once again, you can see there is something up in the sky. Now, if you do not have wings, as I said, you just need to hold this. But you do have to be pretty darn close to it. I think... Actually, because I'm just kind of like floating underneath here. I'm trying to do this without activating my wings. And you can see we've got levitation going on, as well as Sacred Castle. This is something really important. So if I press spacebar, I start going up. And that's part of the effect that the levitation stone has, is that it will help you to levitate a bit, but not everywhere. It will work, but only for a very limited span. And if you notice, there are little openings along the side. You could probably levitate up into those areas. And this is kind of pointing to the middle. You want to get to the heart of this thing. But yeah, I think I'm just going to take the quick and easy way out and use my wings. And we're going to have a nice look at this place without me having to hold this thing in my hand the entire time. Cool. All right, so this is looking really neat. It's got this giant tree structure on top. It's got all these runes and beacons going on. It's got outbuildings. If you haven't seen the Studio Ghibli movie Castle in the Sky, this is a throwback to that, and you should definitely check out that film. But it looks really cool. All right, so let's come in here and see just how dangerous... Oh my gosh, that's very overgrown. This is how dangerous this stuff is here. And what kind of loot there may be to have. Oh my gosh. This is so cool. Now, I've done a little previewing of this mod in the past, but I haven't actually played through it. Oh, I forgot. I've got my running boots on. Let me switch those out. I don't think I need to go so fast. I'm gonna like run into a wall. There we go. Oh, looks like we've got some Drigmies running around in here. So we have some modded mobs. Shroom lights. Cool. This place is just really neat, isn't it? There's some strange chains going on up here. I don't know why there are some chains. Maybe it's supposed to represent that it's holding some of this massive tree structure up. Okay, so I was like, all right, maybe I can just start chopping into this tree, but it says you need to conquer the castle first. This is the thing. You're kind of in an adventure mode only while you're on this area. So it's something you're going to have to be aware of. You can only interact with mobs and chests and things of that nature. You can't actually break any of the blocks like you normally would, or at least I don't think so. I haven't tried break. I'm so cheaty. Okay. All right. I wasn't sure if it would work, and yeah, I already found an exploit. Anyway, you can bypass that with mana and artifice. Oh, hey. But we're going to try not to. We're going to try going through here. Ooh. Blue key obtained by looting chests or killing mobs in the castle. Red key obtained by looting chests or killing mobs in the castle. Yellow key obtained by looting chests or killing mobs in the castle. Okay, so I need to kill mobs and loot things. Oh, and I have to use all three of those keys right now. Okay, I can't just click on there. I actually need to have the key in my hand, I think. There we go. And then this one, the blue key, and then the red key. Oh, jeez. Okay. Oh, that wasn't that bad. that startled me. I wasn't expecting to just fall down in here. Hey, there's a bed and an ender chest. Let's set a spawn point here, so if I die, I don't have to go 10,000 blocks all the way back up. Or actually 12,000 blocks. Ooh. Chest full of... Ooh, look at all this stuff. Okay. Nice. And of course, it's got brewing stand. Why does it have brewing stands? And glass. Why is it telling me that I need these ingredients to make potions? Oh my gosh. Okay. It's telling me that I basically I should do this. So let's make some now. So I think I'm going to end up calling it here, folks. I hope you don't mind. We've run a little bit long, but I think next time will be a really big adventure episode, and then maybe even more after that, because I think this is like an absolutely massive adventure quest that we have begun upon. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give a like, comment, subscribe. Don't be afraid to click that notification bell. Come visit us on Twitch, and until next time, I'll see ya.